Vasistha continued, that consciousness indeed exists here. Knowing I cannot be cut, I cannot be burned, I cannot be made wet, I cannot be dried. I am eternal, omnipresent and unchanging and unmoving. This is the truth. People like to argue and confuse others. They are indeed confused. But, O Ram, we are beyond confusion, because you're beyond concepts. When you argue, you're arguing about concepts, about notions, about ideas. But basically, that is nothing to do with our nature. And once you're in touch with that nature, you can be said to be beyond confusion. Changes in the unchanging are imagined by ignorant and deluded people. Again, these terms, ignorant and deluded, tend to be a little bit smacking of a certain kind of elitism. But if you're caught up believing that conventional reality is reality, then it is a delusion. It is ignorant. It's an ignorant force. But in the vision of sages who have self-knowledge, no change whatsoever has taken place in consciousness. O Ram, consciousness alone has spread itself out as space without undergoing any change in itself. The idea that consciousness is spreading itself out as space is not something which actually happens. You could say that consciousness simply is manifest as space rather than spreads out. It's like rolling out, gives the image of rolling out a carpet. That's not it. It's just manifest as space rather than spreading itself out as space. And it doesn't change. After that, consciousness alone appears as the wind that has the quality of motion, and then consciousness alone appears as fire, water, and the earth with its minerals, and also the bodies of living beings. When the notion of an external knowable has been removed, self-knowledge arises. And when in it there is the notion of inertia or ignorance, the state of deep sleep has come to it. So a state of forgetfulness comes to it. So this is the state of play. We can either be lost in the notions of things which are knowable and external, or we can, in which case we're asleep to our true nature, or we can be aware of our true nature. And as I said previously, we can think of this in terms of the attention. Is the attention focused back on itself? Or is the attention caught up, flitting from one object or one feeling or one person to another, one idea? Is it constantly being battered around? In which case, it's as if we're in a state of deep sleep. But once we withdraw the attention from ideas, from feelings, and come back to that pure awareness, turn the attention back in itself, to that point where all there is the field of experiencing, then we're awake to self-knowledge. Hence, since consciousness alone exists at all times, it may be said that space exists and does not exist. The world exists and does not exist. So here we're kind of having a go at the notion of existence and the notions of space and the notions of the world. It's all just plays on notions, plays on dividing the field of experiencing up. Even as heat is to fire, whiteness is to a conch shell, firmness is to a mountain, liquidity to water, sweetness is to sugar cane, butter is to milk, coolness is to ice, brightness is to illumination, oil is to mustard seed, flow is to a river, sweetness is to honey, ornament is to gold, aroma is to a flower. Even as all this, the universe is to consciousness. So the universe is inherent in consciousness. The world exists because consciousness is, and the world is the body of consciousness. There is no division, no difference, no distinction. Hence the universe can be said to be both real and unreal. Real because of the reality of consciousness, which is its own reality, and unreal because the universe does not exist as universe, independent of consciousness. This consciousness is indivisible and has no parts or limbs. In it the mountain, the ocean, the earth, the rivers, etc. do not exist as such, but only as consciousness. Hence there are no parts nor limbs in consciousness. But because of the unreality of the universe, etc., it cannot be said that their own cause, namely the consciousness, is also unreal. Such a statement would only be a set of words with no meaning, for it runs counter to our experience, and the existence of consciousness cannot be denied. At this stage the third evening set in and the assembly dispersed. Well, I think we've got it there as it is, really. We can say I am conscious. It's better than saying I think therefore I am. It's really I am conscious therefore I can think. I am therefore I can think. I don't think there's much more that needs to be commented on there. We've got it all in a nutshell.